Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
On first down, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He finds his man Johnson. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. This is Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! At their own 16-yard line.
Set, ready? 18 Gator.
I got it. Showing it.
Fair. And out.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers. You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, Eckler. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a toss play to Eckler. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Go! 60 Pittsburgh.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Black. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. He also had a bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. In on the stop, Bradley McDougall.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Looking to throw. Caught by Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll look to throw here. Being chased out, and the Detroit Lions hit pay dirt. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. In some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it'll bring up third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And take it right at the 35. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready, 90, Wolf. Block 54. Drop deep.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
General West on the Seahawks 41-yard line.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. His throw caught right around the 6. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Carson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Able to get this to Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on the football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Squeeze. Shift. Check. Lock now.
Here is Eckler. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
70, Indy. Weapon.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That's good.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now Eckler. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
A give, Eckler running to the right. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Austin Eckler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the 45-yard line.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Mike 51,
From the 45 on 2nd down. Wilson knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They'll set up to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Slant. Get it.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Second and 15. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Incomplete on the deep ball. Brings up third down and 15.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw. Got his man on the comebacker. That's Black. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's Eckler again, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long.
Let's go. 90, Wolf. General West.
Back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Still got 4 down, 4 down. Hey, alert. Switch.
From the 40 now on second down. Wilson stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 41 yards. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and goal.
Brings up second and goal at the 5-yard line.
Fine, 90. 52. 52's the mic. Hey, check.
it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Will Harris there to make the play.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Josh Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Myers connects on the PAT, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
Set, ready? 18, Gator. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Hit it.
They'll drop to throw. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Look at me. Go, go. Go, go. Go.
Going on the ground with Eckler. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Once more, here's Eckler fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Wilson.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
Alert, 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 alert. Hey, turn it up, turn it up. He's crashing.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Here we go, here we go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson, he'll check that down to Carson. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running, just wait.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Austin Eckler with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A gain there of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on second down. Wilson.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Wilson will throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broke. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use him at this point. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run here with Eckler. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A handoff, it's Eckler. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Returnable for Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to let it fly. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
And the Seahawks first down.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Lions, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.